سرورم اگر قدم رنجه بفرمایند. شاهنشاها، می‌خواستید سربازان ما روی دریا راه بروند و روی خشکی کشتی برانند؟ آنچه فرموده بودید کردم.
After 4 long years of work, Xerxes' massive invasion plan is coming to fruition. The contingents must cross the Hellespont and join up with the fleet. Xerxes ordered the building of this pontoon bridge from Asia to Europe. Mardonius has linked the 2 shores of the Dardanelles by joining together 674 triremes. This bridge covers the full width of the strait, 1.5 kilometers. The ships, anchored and bound with linen rope and bark, are covered with planks, then with leveled earth. Wooden barriers prevent the animals from being scared by the waves. Herodotus assesses Xerxes' army at 5 million men and notes that the crossing took 7 days and 7 nights. This is surely an exaggeration. The Persian army must have numbered 1 to 2 million men. The Persians advance, supported by the fleet, which follows the coastline.
شاه بزرگ، این 3 جاسوس یونانی را دستگیر کرده ایم. حالا باید چه کنیم؟
سرورم، این مردان سزاوار مرگند.
بهشان آب بدهید.
چه کسی شما را فرستاده؟
سرورم دمیستوکل هست، سردار بزرگ هاتنیان.
کی؟
نمیشناسمش.
پس می‌خواهد نیروی ما را بسنجد. خب باشد. همه مردانم را نشانشان دهید. نگذارید از پیاده و سواره، از کماندار و ناوگان چیزی از چشمشان دور بیفتد.
شاهنشاه، چرا نیروهای خود را بر دشمن آشکار کنیم؟
جان این 3 مرد به چه کار من میآید؟ حالان که اگر به هاستهات قدرتمان را به یونانیان فوش کنیم، بیشک هراسان میشوند و دیگر نیازی به کارزو نخواهد بود.
یا خودشان تسلیم میشوند یا میگریزند.
Indeed, Xerxes will provoke unprecedented fear. Although his army is a logistical nightmare to move around, it nonetheless captured Thrace and Macedonia with ease. Xerxes is now ready to descend on central Greece without cause for concern.
The feedback from spies throws the Greeks into confusion.
For Sparta and her neighbours in the south, the preferred defensive line is the Isthmus of Corinth, the narrow gateway to southern Greece. But to protect Athens and central Greece, 2 advanced positions are to be guarded: the narrow pass of Thermopylae and the sea right next to it, a narrow channel between Thermopylae and Cape Artemision. In the late summer of 480, Leonidas, one of Sparta's 2 kings, heads there with 300 elite Spartan citizens and about 7,000 hoplites from other states.
Eurybiades, the Spartan general, leaves for Artemisium with Themistocles and the entire Greek fleet.
What happens at Thermopylae soon becomes legendary. Persians cross the mountains to encircle Leonidas' position. He sends away his allies to save them, and himself dies fighting with his 300 Spartans. The Spartans, always brilliant at propaganda, turn this into a moral victory. They have proved they're the bravest of warriors who will always lead their allies from the front. Sparta's leadership of the Greeks wasn't undermined by this defeat. It was cemented. The fleet fights well, but withdraws after the fall of Thermopylae.
Xerxes invades Phocis, Boeotia, and besieges the cities he crosses, whose only choice is surrender or be destroyed. The Persians are at the gates of Attica. The Athenians need to turn to the gods.
Themistocles, prosere teun moi.
Oidon Perez.
Εκ Δελφών, oi θεωρoi εξέλθον. Τες πτίας κρυσάσεες, είπε το μαντέον με κάθεσθαι. Αλλες τασιές εσχατίας φυγέιν. Αθέναοι, κατασκαθέσεται, πάντα καουτέσεται.
Alarmed by our future, we question the gods through the oracle of Apollo, as is the custom. But how should we greet the divine announcement of great misfortune to come? With docility?
Adunaton fugen, me uper eleutherias marchesamenus. Utus pius sontes tu loigenes someda. Esfalesan pos. Deuteron res monegen. Anankaion.
Frustrated, I convince my fellow citizens to pan an extra tax to obtain another consultation with the oracle.
Cecropidai, neon exereu.
Once the enemy has seized all that encloses the country, Jupiter the Omniscient will grant Athena a wall of wood which will be neither taken nor destroyed. It will be your salvation, that of you and your children.
Theos epenipythia, o catapelenudes tunesetai. Akekoas, toiston neonskafesis o someda.
Do not quietly await the large army which will come to attack you by land. Rather take flight. A day will come when you will stand up to it. For you, O divine Salamis.
Themistocles interprets the prediction in his own way and explains it to the Athenians. The oracle evoked their enemy's downfall, not their own. If they must evacuate the city and protect their army, it's so as to fight better later, on the sea at Salamis, an island close to Athens. If the outcome were disaster, the oracle would have said ill-fated Salamis and not divine Salamis.
My family, like those of all Athenians, packs our belongings. My loved ones' hearts are heavy with the idea of leaving our ancestral land. For the first time in our history, we Athenians must evacuate our city. I bid farewell to that which is most precious. My father may have disowned me in the past, but that will not stop me honoring his grave. Would he understand that Athens, without walls, will fall to the massed Persian ranks marching on her? We have no other choice. Flee or perish. I organized the evacuation of the city and use our fleet. It's aboard our triremes that the Athenians will go into exile and remain safe. May no one scorn our fleet. If we flee, it is to better attack later. The height of the flames disguises nothing of the violence ordered by Xerxes. The Persians set about destroying Athens, surely furious at finding the city deserted. I refuse to be shaken by it. Our temples may have been disfigured, but we're all safe and free. May the Persians fear the effects of our wrath when the time comes for our revenge.
Mirei persa, o sentade nai tolmai.
Hey! Tu filu psausete! Paremos de! Ai tonden guomai. Eden de seis, usikine. La cremat für pexentes diatelomen.
Xerxes is prepared to pursue the Greeks to their refuge, the island of Salamis. No subject kings dare oppose him. Everyone docilely agrees to a naval battle, all except one person, a woman. Artemisia I, queen of Halicarnassus, disagrees. She thinks it wrong to underestimate the Greeks at sea, and that it's preferable to avoid naval conflict. She advises Xerxes to advance on land and capture the Peloponnese.
Xerxes is unconvinced. He wants to pursue the Athenians and their allies and face them in a naval battle. It's not the usual plan. Until now, the campaign has advanced simply. You besiege a city, it surrenders or is razed, then you go on to the next one. As Athens is in ruins, the king should sweep down on the Isthmus of Corinth to attack the cities of the Peloponnese and complete his conquest of Greece. But the Athenians are not subjugated, and the king doesn't want to leave an enemy fleet behind him. So the Persians sail their fleet to Salamis, but the Greeks are divided about what action to take.
The Persians have defied us all day off the coast of Salamis. It was easy to convince the Greeks to refuse this unfavorable battle. But now, we must debate which battle to take to them.
Athenae pretesan. Tes atikes krates antes, oi persai, nun emas en kukruntai. Apeluntai nun aipoles entei peloponnesoi. Amenon entaston koran, anelten. Maron emin sumpere ismoi pantistene makestai, en prostentes peloponnesoi. Iantonismon megaloi teke apoklesomen, en podiste sontai oi persoi.
Ean dititometer aspalos, beuxomen eisten Peloponneson. Mendiaminomen enissoi, catergemenoi prosanekes tapate, prostetentes.
Ian epituismu majestae dianoethete. Tote salamina kai megaran, kai aiginen proieste. Epiplaciutas naus kinesantes. Umas piesusi. Ean apochoris dometha? Cathecastentas poleis catabalusin.
O Themistocles, entois agosi, rapis detail iantis proexanaste.
Nai, hoida poleftentis su Stefanutai. Pataxon men, acus mentoi.
Tension mounts among the Greeks due to the Persian 1,200-ship fleet. The alliance of the cities is threatened by the temptation of every man for himself. The Peloponnesians want to retreat to their lands.
In Themistocles' mind, if they don't fight at sea, everyone will return to their cities. The army will disperse, the fleet will break up, and all Greece will be lost.
Apassignemin sumfere. Prospersais catathalatan majestae, entha den Salamini. Ekestenos oporthmos, hutos, ost origaines polonkratisienan. Aneuneon megalestratiaton person uc ancinethe. Ude trophas dexaitos. Esaporian situ catastantes palin anastrepsusim.
The Greek fleet has 378 triremes, about 200 of which are Athenian. And Salamis Bay has the advantage of being a real bottleneck where numbers won't matter. So the chances of success are real, if he can convince Eurybiades and the other generals.
Pos apoliandri petestai cre. Oi patricium bepretai.
Patris en Palestina. Epitas diacosias naus hyperelenon strateusas. Demonon nauticoi restaientoi de toi polemoi. Andemignois. Imas catalepeen oioites me. Categen to plethos auton, upote categen du neceste. O Eurybiade, episoi eso eteriates elados. Diamenas men en Salamini, tu selenas soses. Edeme anatrepseis.
Eurybiades must accept. If the Athenian fleet leaves, it will certainly condemn the rest of the Greek fleet to defeat.
Kai doloi eisen. Oi persai majestai epiontes. Entas suaiteis.
شاهنشاه، یک پیک یونانی اجازه جلوس می‌خواهد.
بگویید وارد شود.
ای پادشاه بزرگ، تمیستوکل سردار یونانیان مرا فرستاده که بگویم او گوش به فرمان شماست.
تمیستوکل، تو از افراد او هستی؟
حرف بزن.
بین یونانی ها تفرقه افتاده و در فکر گریزند. تمیستوکل به شما توصیه می کند که نگذارید آنها فرار کنند. از غیبت یگان زمینیشان استفاده کنید تا به نیروی دریاییشان هجوم برده آنها را نابود کنید.
مردونیه را فرا بهونید.
Faced with the outsized Persian forces, it's not rare for kings or generals to go over to the enemy, hoping for leniency. Xerxes, like his predecessors, knows how to be generous with those who serve him well.
سرورم، امری داشتید؟
ماجرا را از نو بگو.
Could Themistocles, disheartened by his allies' lack of commitment to the Greek cause, betray his own? A surprising turn of events.
Themistocles knows he must provoke a quick naval battle to save Greece. Eurybiades and the other generals agree to follow him, but they could change their minds. A battle out at sea is risky due to the numbers. That's why Themistocles must draw the enemy to where he wants them, Salamis Bay.
Xerxes was already intent on engaging in a naval battle to finish off the Greeks. Themistocles' betrayal is too good a chance to turn down. Xerxes speeds up his plan. He wants to block as soon as possible the 3 exits from Salamis Bay so the Greeks are unable to escape. That night, the sea blockade is deployed, with 200 ships to the northwest of the Megara Pass and to the southeast on either side of the island of Psytalia. His plan is to encircle the strait by surrounding the islands, then to massively attack the Greek fleet by maneuvering on the flanks and destroy it.
Themistocles' strategy at Salamis is to prevent the Persian fleet doing to the Greek ships what Xerxes' army has done to Leonidas at Thermopylae, using their superior numbers to surround the Greeks. So, Greek ships are to block a narrow channel between the Isle of Salamis and the Athenian mainland. Persian ships seem to have been lighter and more maneuverable than the Greek ships. But in the channel of Salamis, they'll be too cramped to maneuver.
Persian numerical superiority will become meaningless. There will now be a ratio of 1 to 1.
At the new day's dawning, I can only be proud of the long road traveled. 10 years of effort to establish a naval policy and build this fleet. It's now her chance to shine today, in a moment of truth that will decide the subjugation or the freedom of the Greeks. The Persians are where I want them to be, but what will be the outcome of battle? That I cannot answer.
Xerxes is based on the mainland, facing Salamis. From here, he can keep track of his fleet and the deployments for battle. Confident in his fleet, he can't wait for battle to begin.
شیپور حمله رو بزنید.
اهورامزدا یاورتان باد.
Enemy against enemy, the two fleets engage. At the first push, the massed Persian navy remains unmovable. But soon, crammed into a tight space, numerous Persian ships start getting in each other's way, ramming into each other with their bronze rams. Whole rows of oars are splintered. Tainted with blood, the Battle of Salamis ends and plunges the Persians into the darkness of grief.
یونانیان اینجاید.
خب.
آماده باشید. آماده باشید.
Xerxes is denied victory at sea. His fleet is weakened by the lack of logistical support from his imposing land army. Xerxes leaves, never to have another opportunity to invade Greece. Salamis was not an ultimate defeat for Persia, but it did show the Greeks that the Persians were not invincible. The Persian Empire, far from being bled dry, would continue for another 200 years. Greece owed its salvation to the fleet of Themistocles, to the determination of a man who wanted his country to remain free at all costs.